Here are two sentences. Both were written by a language model. One of them carries a watermark. Read them again. You won't find it. Nobody can. There's no hidden character, no invisible ink, no secret pattern in the spelling. And yet, given enough text like this, the company that built the model can tell you, with a number, how likely it is that their model wrote it. On August 14, 2026, Anthropic announced that future Claude models will watermark everything they write. The watermark isn't in the model. It isn't in the words. It lives somewhere stranger. It lives in the randomness. To see how, we have to watch a model write one word.
Inside AI. The invisible watermark. How Claude signs its text. And why you will never see the signature.
Start with a prompt. The capital of Germany is. A model doesn't see letters. The first thing that happens is a lookup. Each piece of text becomes a number, a token ID. Those numbers go into the model, and what comes out is not a word. It's a score for every word the model knows. Not a handful, all of them. More than 100,000 numbers, one per token, almost all of them small. Zoom in on one stretch of the vocabulary and a single bar towers over the rest. Token 20,437. Decode it and it reads Berlin. And the model is 3/4 sure of it. The model appends Berlin to the prompt, runs the whole thing again, and picks the next word. And again, until it decides it's finished. That loop is text generation. Every answer you've ever read from a chatbot came out of it one token at a time. So far, nothing surprising. The surprise is in how the word gets picked.
Those scores aren't probabilities yet. They can be any size, positive or negative. So the model squashes them into shares. Here's the whole recipe, once, with real numbers. Take 3 scores, Berlin, 17, the next word, 14, and an ordinary word near 0. Raise E to each one. That makes every score positive and stretches the gaps wide. Add them up. Divide each by the total. Now there's slices of 100%, and the slices add up to 1. Berlin gets 76. The next word, barely 3. The ordinary word, nothing you could measure. Do that for all 128,000 scores, and Berlin holds more than 3/4 of the pie by itself. Now here's the part most people don't know. The model doesn't simply take the biggest slice. It rolls a die, a weighted die, where each word's slice is its chance of coming up. We ran this 10,000 times on a real model. Berlin came up 7,633 times. The other roll scattered across 569 different words. A few hundred said a scattering said the. Why roll at all? Because a model that always takes the top word says the same thing every time, like a recording. The roll is where the variety comes from. And notice where it sits, after the model, outside it. The model produces the slices. One line of code turns them into a word. Hold on to that line. It's where the whole story happens.
Now change the prompt. It was a quiet afternoon, and the streets were. Here, the model isn't sure, and it shouldn't be. Several words all fit. Empty, almost, nearly, relatively. It has a mild favorite, empty at 49%, but almost at 31 is close behind, and the die often lands there instead. Either reads perfectly well. This is why the same question gives different answers on different days. And it compounds. Write a short paragraph, and there might be 7 places like this, 7 forks, each with 2 good options. 2 choices, 7 times over, is 128 possible paragraphs, and every one of them is a fair answer. Which one you get is luck. Remember that. At every fork, the model is indifferent. It genuinely doesn't care which word you get. Somebody could decide for it, and the text would be no worse.
Here's the thing about dice on a computer. There aren't any. A computer can't do random. It runs a formula that produces numbers which look random, and every formula has to start somewhere. That starting point is called a seed. Ask for 5 random numbers, and you get 5. Ask again, 5 different ones. Now fix the seed. Set it to 123, and ask again. 5 numbers that look just as random. Ask again. The same 5. Random, but repeatable. The randomness was never chance. It was a recipe, and the seed is its first line. So go back to the streets. Roll with seed 0, and the model picks almost every time. Roll with seed 2, and it picks empty every time. Same model, same scores, same fair choice. Only the seed changed, and the seed picks the winner.
And that's the watermark. Claude's watermark sets the seed not to a fixed number, but to a number computed from 2 things: a secret key that only Anthropic holds, and the few words just before the fork. Key plus context gives the seed. The seed settles the word. Every time the model reaches a fork, the key quietly casts the deciding vote. Back to the 128 paragraphs. Without the key, you get 1 at random. With the key, you get, say, number 4. Always number 4. And number 4 is a perfectly good paragraph. It was always one of the fair answers. Nothing was added, nothing was forced. The model is untouched. The scores are untouched. Only the tie breaks were decided, and only where the model had no preference. Where there's no fork, a fact, a number, a line of code that has to be exact, there is nothing to mark, and nothing is. That's why a watermarked answer reads exactly like an unwatermarked one. So the obvious next question, if the text reads the same, how does anyone ever find the mark?
Your first idea might be replay it. Take the text, run the model again, roll with the key, and see if the same words come out. That works, and it's useless. You'd need the original prompt, the exact model, and a full model run for every paragraph you wanted to check. Detection has to work the other way round. Given only the text and the key, no model, no prompt, is this Claude? That takes one more idea. It's the clever part of the whole design, and it comes from the Google DeepMind paper that Anthropic says it adapted. Notice who gets to ask the question. You can't. You don't have the key. Neither can the AI detectors already on the market. They guess from style. Only the key holder can check, and Anthropic says a detection API is coming. What that API does with the key is the rest of this video.
What comes next is the engineering. How the key leaves a trace that can be counted without ever running the model. If all you wanted was the idea, you already have it. The watermark is a seed, and only the key can read it. Stay for the mechanism. It's a knockout tournament, and it is neater than it sounds.
Go back to the fork. 4 candidates. Empty, almost, nearly, relatively, with their shares. Now, instead of one seed, the key feeds a small set of functions. Call them G1, G2, G3. Each one takes the key, the few words before the fork, and a candidate word, and answers with a single bit, 0 or 1. Think of it as a coin flipped by the key. The same inputs always give the same flip. Run empty through all three, 0, 1, 1. Almost, 1, 0, 1. Nearly, 1, 0, 0. Relatively, 0, 0, 0. Each word now has a signature, a short string of bits that depends on the words before it, and the secret. 3 functions here, so it fits on the screen. The real system uses many more. Nothing about these bits is written into the text. They're computed on demand from the key. And now the selection step does something more interesting than a roll.
It runs a tournament. Draw 8 entrants from the candidates in proportion to their shares. Empty is the favorite, so it turns up a few times. Almost, close behind, fills most of the rest. The 2 long shots don't come up at all this round. Now pair them off. Round 1 is judged by G1. Look up each entrant's first bit. A 1 beats a 0. A tie goes to the key's coin. And here is the whole idea in one row. Every time empty meets almost, empty loses, because G1 scored empty a 0 and almost a 1. Not because empty was a worse word, because its secret bit came up short. 4 matches, 4 wins for almost.
Rounds 2 and 3 are almost against almost now, decided by the coin, and almost takes the title. So the model's next word is almost. Now step back and see what just happened. Empty was the model's favorite at 49%. The watermark passed it over and chose almost, the model's second pick, still a perfectly good word, because almost's hidden signature carried more ones. That's the whole move. Among the words the model is already happy with, quietly prefer the ones whose bits match the key. Almost's signature was 1, 0, 1. 2 ones out of 3, more than chance would give. Do that at every fork, across a whole passage, and the chosen words carry a faint surplus of ones. You can't see it in the text. You can count it if you have the key.
Now, detection is cheap. Take any text, this sentence. For every word, from the key and the few words before it, recompute its signature and count the ones. No model, no prompt, just the key and some very fast arithmetic. Some words score 3, some score 1. Add them up, divide by the number of words. Our watermarked sentence averages 1.8 ones per word. A fair coin, text nobody watermarked, averages 1.5. So 1.8 is above the line. But hold on, this is one sentence, a couple of dozen words. 1.8 from a handful of coin flips could still be luck. To be sure, you need length. And notice what the counting never needed. It never ran Claude. That is the whole reason for the tournament, to leave a trace the key alone can read, with no model in sight.
So we did it properly. 300 words, generated twice from the same prompt, once with a plain roll, once through the tournament, and scored both with the key. The plain text, 1.49 ones per word. That is chance. The plain text is not watermarked, and it looks it. The watermarked text, 1.8.
Across 300 words, that gap is not something a coin does. You would sooner flip 300 heads. Then a third version. Take the watermarked text and edit it. 1 word in 10 swapped for a synonym. 1.6. Weaker. The edits knocked some of the marked words out, but still above chance, still flagged. That is exactly what Anthropic means. Light editing won't erase it, and the longer the passage, the surer the verdict.
Which also tells you how to erase it. Change the words at the forks. If you knew where the 7 forks were, you'd swap those 7 words, and the surplus would be gone. But you don't know where they are. Finding them would take the model. So you edit blind. A word here, a word there, and hope you hit enough forks. Change enough, and the average drifts back to chance. Anthropic says as much themselves. Light editing probably won't remove it. A complete rewrite will. Though at that point, whose text is it? And here's the prediction worth holding on to. The people who most want unmarked AI text won't stop using AI. They'll add a step. Claude writes, a second model, maybe a small one on their own machine, answering to nobody's key, rewrites, and out comes text that was changed for the sake of being changed. The likely feature of AI-generated text is slightly worse AI-generated text.
So that's the watermark. Not in the model, not in the words. A secret key, casting the deciding vote at every fork where the model didn't care, and leaving behind a surplus of ones that only the key can count. Everything in this video happened on the last line of the loop, the line that turns scores into a word. Everything before it we treated as a black box. How the model knows that Berlin follows the capital of Germany is, or that empty and almost mean nearly the same thing. That starts with a strange idea, that a word can be a list of numbers, and that meaning has a shape. That's the next chapter.